Hi, come on in. I'm Tina Carini at spongeandstamp.com. Today I'm going to be doing some watercoloring. I've been having a lot of fun with watercolors lately, and I thought that I would bring in the Country Floral Dynamic Textured Impressions Embossing folder. That's a lot, but this folder is really pretty. Actually, let me take that back. It is gorgeous. And the impression that it leaves is breathtaking. Look at all the detail in that. This would be pretty just by itself, but we're going to do some watercoloring on it, and let's go ahead and jump in and get started. So I'm going to bring in my computer paper here just to kind of keep my surface clean, and we're going to just start watercoloring. So I have a paper towel here that I can use to brush off my water and clean my brush from different colors. We're using quite a bit of colors here. We're going to use Lemon Lime Twist, Granny Apple Green, Balmy Blue, Crumb Cake, Pineapple Punch, Powdered Pink, and Flirty Flamingo. So we're going to go ahead. So I'm not, usually when you watercolor, you would wet your whole paper down, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to start with my roses here, and we're going to start with powdered pink. And I've already squeezed in there some color. So I am just getting a little bit of water in here. If I need to, I can just squeeze just a drop and pull it in here, because you want to start off light with a light color, because you can always make it darker and do a little shading. But if you get too much color, then you can't take that away. So we're just going to do the roses here. And that's all I'm doing, is just brushing on some color. And I already know that it is too light, but I'm okay with that because I'm going to come back in and add a little bit more. So I've got that. Now I'm going to just wipe off my brush, and I'm going to pull in some more of it. And then I'm going to come through and just brush it along the sides, just like that. That's all I'm going to do. Pull in a little more and just brush it on top of here like that. And then right over here, we'll do the same thing. And because it's such a deep impression, that it's really easy to watercolor on here. It's actually, I've done it with watercolors. I've done it with the Stamp and Blend alcohol markers, and it's turned out beautiful every time. Okay, so I think, let's get this little one over here. Just like that. All right, so now I'm gonna bring in some Flirty Flamingo, and I'm gonna add a little touch of water. Now this is something that I actually haven't tried, but we're gonna see how it works. I'm gonna start over here, and I'm just gonna kind of brush that in where the creases are, where the indents are, just to make this rose pop even more. Okay. So we'll do that. And just give it some, just gives it more dimension, I think, and I'm really happy with this so far. So, and if you're getting too much water, just wipe your brush off and come back in. It's very, very simple. There you go. So I want to come back in and give this center rose a little bit more color. So I'm just going to do like so. I'm going to get a little bit fuller strength of ink with less water, just to kind of come in and like so. Isn't that beautiful? And it's so easy. So that's that. So now let's do the pineapple pineapple punch. And I'm going to color, I'm just going to do the same thing, drop just a drop of water and mix it all in there. And then we're just going to come through, and these little fluffy flowers here, we're going to just color those. Just like that. So that's all we got to do, and we'll let that go, and then we'll just take a little bit of the less water and more ink and just kind of dab it along in the creases. There's so many creases in this flower that you just need just a little bit just to give it a little pop. That's all we need to do. So that's how we do that flower. And then let's do this little daisy looking one here. And we're going to do that in Balmy Blue. So we'll open that up. We'll put just a drop of water in there. Actually got 2 drops, so might have to brush my brush off just a little bit on the paper towel. And then just come in and paint that right on. And I'm using an aqua painter, and I absolutely love these things. They're amazingly awesome. So you can control your water, you can squeeze it out. And I'm using watercolor paper. This will not work very well at all on regular Whisper White cardstock or the thick. You can do it on the shimmer paper. I have not tried this particular technique on the shimmer paper. That might be something that I just might do later on today, actually, if I get done with all my other stuff. Okay, so that's all you do is you just go around and you just add your color. And remember, the lighter, start off light and then come back in with a thicker concentrate of it so that you can give it a little bit of shading if you want to. And if you're getting too much water, just wipe your brush off on your paper towel, and that will do that. Okay, so now let's clean my brush off, and then we're going to bring in some green. So we have Lemon Lime Twist that I am going to just do the same thing, drop some water, and kind of tap my brush off, and I'm going to come in and just do the leaves. All I'm doing is just brushing a little color on there on the leaves. And then we have some leaves, let's see here, we have the rose leaves here. Just brush a little color on there, and the stem. And then what I wanted to do was bring in some Granny Apple Green and just pull in just a little bit because I just wanted to give it a little bit of shading in there. So that's all I'm doing is where I think that shading might be. And if you get too much dark like that, you can come in with a little bit of more water and kind of blend that out like that. And then, but if I had colored the whole leaf with too much, it would not have worked as well. The whole leaf would have been too green. All right, so that's how you do that. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to make these leaves pop just a little bit more, just like so. And then, so that's how you do that. It's pretty simple. So let's color some more leaves here. I'm going to go ahead and color those. I hope I'm in the camera still. I was pulling up closer so that I could see what I was doing. So just like that. And then if you wanted it to be even darker, to give it some pop, you just come in with a stem and here, here, and right in here. And you have to kind of take your time a little bit so that you can see what you're coloring and where it is. But that's how you do that. So I've already colored one. Oh, I forgot the crumb cake. We're just going to clean our brush up really well here. And then I'm coming in with some crumb cake. And I don't know if you can see on here, but there's raised dots everywhere. So I'm just taking some crumb cake and just dabbing along on there. Some are lighter, some are darker, and that's all I'm doing, is just dabbing along. Just like that. So can you see how that's looking? Isn't that beautiful? So let's go ahead and bring this in. Now this one I did not do with the Flirty Flamingo. I just came in with a darker, less water, more ink to get the, to make it a little darker. But I think I'm gonna add a little bit of the Flirty Flamingo because I really like the way that looks. So we're just gonna come in here and in the creases. And we got a little too much there. Hopefully I can kind of spread that out. Okay, and a little bit more for this one over here. I really like the way the Flirty Flamingo really makes this rose just pop. Okay, so that is it. Isn't that beautiful? And it's super easy, and I really hope you guys give this a try. And I'm going to go ahead and close these up because I don't need them right now. The only one I'm going to need is the crumb cake. If I don't close these up, I know I will throw a project right in there. Okay. So we've got that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mat it on a piece of Sahara sand cardstock. And this cardstock is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And we are just going to layer that right on there. And I'm going to use some of my liquid glue so that it would adhere better. Well, woo! Okay, so let's go ahead and put this on here as even as we can. Just like that, I think looks pretty good. Okay, so we've got that right on there. And now I've also got a piece of Balmy Blue cardstock. This is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. And we're gonna put that on there. But before we do that, I really wanted to put some ribbon or some twine around there. And I really wanted to use some linen thread, but I pulled my linen thread out and that was all that I had. It's not enough to do what I wanted to do, but it goes really nicely with that and it gives it more of that country feel and it's a softness to it. But I found this and I hesitated to use it because you can't get this unless you had a past paper pumpkin that it came in. So this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times here. Like that and like this. And I want this to be longer. Oops. Have you had those days where you drank too much coffee and then you get the shakes? That's what has happened to me this morning. Okay, so we're going to tie that down just like that. And I always struggle with tying bows with twine and cording because it never, oh, I forgot. Oh, my brain. Okay, we need a piece of Scrap Whisper White that we can stamp our sentiment. And I'm pulling in Wood Words, and I'm going to use the sentiment, "Thanks a bunch." And I already have that blocked up somewhere. Right here it is. And I'm inking that up in crumb cake. And I'm just going to stamp that down like that. And then we're going to use our 1-inch circle punch and punch that right out. But I'm going to come up just a little higher or bring it down further because I'm going to take my 1/8 inch punch and punch a hole in here. I think it's my 1/8 inch. And just punch this hole right in there. That's what I'm going to do. Whoops, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Okay, just like that. And that's going to go there. And then we're going to try to tie this. Okay, so I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to put a glue dot in there because that might just help hold it down some to keep it from unraveling on me. Make sure that I have it pretty tight. Come on, come on. Right there. Okay. And then we're going to slide this guy right in here. If I can get it in that little hole. There we go. I think I did. There. Okay, so it's going to go right there. And then I'm going to tie the bow just like that. And I want this to dangle. And this, I want it to come over a little more, just like that. If my bow would cooperate with me. Okay. Pull this. And pull this one. Just like that. All right, so that's our bow on there. It's not completely straight like I would like for it to be, but I'm okay with that. And then our little strands. And now we're going to just pop this up on our card base with some dimensionals. So let me pull those out. Put one there, one there, one there. Well, it stuck to my finger. There we go. And then we'll just take this out. Or take the backings off. And we are almost done with our really pretty thank you card. Okay. I'm just going to line that up the best that I can. I think that that's pretty good, just like that. There we go. So I hope that you guys like that and that you'll give it a try. Thanks for spending your little time with me today, or spending a little time with me today. And I hope that you enjoyed this video and give me a thumbs up. And again, I always love to hear from you guys. So please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. And if you don't want to miss any future videos, make sure you click on that little bell icon. Also, I go live on Facebook every Tuesday night at 7:30 at Sponge and Stamp with Tina. And I would love to see you over there too. So you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.